Boating, riverside scenery and photography. What more could you want? I am on a beautiful quiet stretch of the River Nene to seek out something very, very special. My daughter, she watched my last video about the kingfishers and she set me a challenge. She said, "Dad, why don't you go and find otters?" So that's exactly what I'm here to do today. I'm going to track down and hopefully get some video of the beautiful but very, very secretive otter. This summer of 2018 has seen some of the driest weather on record and some of the highest summer temperatures ever recorded. The meadows by the river are turning from a lush green to a parched brown. In my last episode, when I was tracking down kingfishers, I was so lucky and I managed to find an otter. Otters are very territorial, so the best place to start is where I saw them last. A bright and early start was needed as I had a long way to go. So, packed with all the essentials and of course the camera gear, it was lights on, cast off and away I go in good old trusty Teasal. Making sure that all my ropes were tied securely, I single-handedly lowered Teasal down into the lock. With the lock all set and ready for Teasal, it was time to steer her into the lock carefully. Gently lowering Teasal against the rising sun, it was time to start my adventure. The river certainly didn't fail to surprise. Through every twist and turn, I was greeted with a golden glow and rising mists. I was in awe and amazed at nature's spectacle unravelling in front of me. This was one of the best cruises I'd ever done. The River Nene at its very, very best. After going through several locks, at last it was time to moor up at my location. Checking the ropes to make sure Teasal was tied up nice and securely, it was time for me to head to the pub for a well-earned dinner. Waking up the following morning, I was captivated by the beauty of the landscape, the golden glow of the summer morning, and humbled to be surrounded by all of the nature that relies on the River Nene as a lifeline. David Phillips, the author of The River Nene From Source to Sea, so eloquently wrote that the river is, to all intents and purposes, a playground. We cruise, we paddle and fish in her waters. We enjoy pints of ale and honest-to-goodness meals in the many fine pubs and restaurants that line her banks. Some of us just like to walk beside her on a sunny afternoon and simply enjoy being close to this wonderful river. I couldn't have put it better myself. I felt very lucky indeed and privileged to be able to experience the golden hour through my window. Being this close to nature truly is a blessing. Today is day 2 of my great otter search. I cruised down on Teasal yesterday, so that took up most of the day. Moored up overnight, stayed on Teasal overnight, which is lovely. Really nice to wake up to a beautiful day again on the River Nene. A little bit cooler today, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to get to find some otters today. That's what I'm hoping. After some amazing cruising through the morning mist, we have arrived at our destination to look for the otters, so I've got to get packed up, get the camera gear ready and see what we can go and find. A wide variety of insects, animals and birds make their homes along the banks of the River Nene. You just need to keep your eyes open. The River Nene is believed to have been the inspiration behind The Wind in the Willows. Author Kenneth Grahame spent his summers with friends at Elton Hall. Here Grahame liked to relax in a summer house beside the river. In fact, one of the islands in the river in this area is known to this day as Ratty Island. It does not take much imagination to picture the peaceful willow-lined Nene of old as the setting for the tales that have delighted generations of youngsters and adults alike. Well, this is what getting out and exploring is all about. I've just found the most beautiful part of the river, and I'm watching the swifts. They're coming down and they're drinking from the water, just going up and down the river. It's absolutely fantastic. It's so beautiful here, such a beautiful spot. The great thing about the Nene Valley and its wild creatures is that you can enjoy them at your own pace. There is no rule to say that you must hike 20 miles along the Nene Way, laden down with a telescope, binoculars and a tripod, although some seem to prefer it that way. so hot today, it's about 31 degrees, but what a lovely way to cool down. It is so refreshing. Well, this is a great sign that otters are around. There's footprints in the mud, and there's also these, which are freshwater mussel shells, and otters can quite easily break these apart and eat them. I think I might be getting close. Well, I think I found the perfect habitat for otters. I've got clear running water behind me, fish stock, I've got reeds, I've got a little bit of shrubbery and a pond, quite still water there. So I think this is going to be the spot where I'm going to camp out. I don't know how long it's going to take me to spot otters, but I'm fairly confident that they are here. After waiting and waiting and waiting, I finally caught my first glimpse of the otter. Eventually, they showed up. Oh, it's just so exciting to actually see them, to actually video them, and I managed to get some really good footage, so I am so pleased. My very first glimpse of the otter was water-webbed whiskers and a ruddering tail. There is something so magical about watching an otter. It is a glimpse of a conservation victory and an animal whose muscles are as fluid as the water. Pushed to the brink by hunting, habitat destruction and pesticides, the otter almost disappeared from rivers and waterways in England, surviving in small numbers in Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Sighting one of these beautiful creatures must be one of the most rewarding wildlife experiences in the UK. It certainly was for me. Thankfully, after huge efforts to improve water quality and the banning of chemicals such as DDT, there are now increasingly good chances of spotting this enigmatic predator. Well, what can I say? I've had a brilliant weekend. I've managed to get some fabulous shots of otters, which, to be honest, I didn't think I was going to get, because last time I just managed to get a glimpse in shot, but I got some fantastic video of the otters. So, with everything packed away, it's time to head back to Teasal. Time to go home now. I've had a fabulous weekend. I managed to spot otters, and the weather has just been amazing. It's so good to be out on the River Nene. I love it. The River Nene is a bright ribbon threading itself through the colourful tapestry of an historic part of England. It is my sincere hope that people will come to appreciate the Nene, both past and present, and be encouraged to support those dedicated to securing its future for generations yet to come.